One of the biggest hindrances when it comes to the recognition of our true nature is the experience of doubt. And I'm sure we're all quite familiar with that. Especially in the beginning, when we have our first glimpses of our true nature, we always run into this experience of doubt. Was that the real thing? Is that an authentic realization? Am I truly experiencing non-duality? All of these questions in this form, or of course many other kinds of forms, will show up in your experience. And because of this reason, we have to be as clear as possible about what the experience of non-duality actually is and what it's not. Because if we are not sure about this, then even when there is the clarity of the recognition, after a while the doubt may creep in, and subsequently we will question the recognition in of itself, and we will keep seeking for something else, even if the recognition was actually the real thing. And you might be skeptical about what I just said, because you might think that if you truly recognize your true nature, it will be beyond any doubt. And while it's true that there are those experiences where what you have realized cannot be doubted, very often it's also the case that there is a true authentic glimpse of your true nature, but because the habit of overlooking it, of refixating again, is so strong, it will seem to you like there was no glimpse at all, there was no recognition at all. And because of this reason, it can be very useful to explore why we think we don't experience non-duality. And I want to point to something very simple here. I simply want to refer to what we even mean when we say non-dual. Because non-dual could refer to many different things. We have all kinds of dualities in our life. We have a duality between hot and cold. We have a duality between long and short. We have a duality between light and darkness. So obviously, I'm not trying to experience non-duality between these categories. The non-duality that I'm interested in is a very specific one. The non-duality which I'm interested in is the non-duality between the awareness that I am and that which I am aware of. What I'm saying is that it's truly possible to recognize in one's own experience that between this awareness, which is our true nature, and what we are perceiving, there is no separation at all. There is, to put it in a word, non-duality between what I am and what I'm aware of. And if we understand this, then that can clear up a tremendous amount of confusion. A lot of times people have the expectation that when they recognize non-dual awareness, the experience of a diversified world, which is seemingly appearing as different objects, will just vanish. Meaning that if you recognize non-duality, you cannot experience a world. But that to me is a misunderstanding of the term. The true power and profound transformative potential in a recognition of non-duality is precisely that nothing in your field of experience needs to change. You can still have the experience of seemingly looking at a world and a body which is made out of concrete separate parts. But at the same time, that experience is profoundly changed, because you're not just experiencing forms, shapes, and colors, but you're then also clearly recognizing that all this diversity of experience is essentially one whole reality. Fundamentally, what all of this diversity is just this pure awareness. This pure awareness is empty of all objective qualities, but it is not nothing. It is awake. It is here. It is taking all of this in. So we have the clarity, the emptiness, the luminous presence of our true nature. And we have that experience of a diversified world. But yet that experience of all of this shape and color and form is nothing other than this awakeness which we are. So this form over there is just the modulation, the expression of our essential true nature. So this is very much a situation of having your cake and eating it too. You do recognize the pure wholeness, the ungraspability of your true nature. And yet you also experience conventional reality in all its shapes and colors. But when you recognize that what all of this is fundamentally just this pure awareness, then the experience of seeing a seemingly separate world is profoundly changed. Yes, I can still judge that there is a certain amount of distance between this body and this camera that is in front of me, but at the same time, it's crystal clear that the awareness which I am has no separation, no distance at all from that object I'm seeing over there, simply because this object is only made out of seeing, and seeing is nothing other than this awareness. Seeing, fundamentally, just is a particular shape that awareness is taking, like a wave arising out of the ocean. And so interestingly, even though there's this relative experience of distance between the body and the outside world, at the same time, there can be the clear recognition that there is no separation and no distance at all between awareness and everything that we consider the world. And if we truly understand this, then this has the power to dissolve this tremendous doubt we have. Because we then understand that the experience of the world doesn't need to go. It can be there. Even the sense of seeming relative distance can be there. But at the same time, we see what everything is fundamentally. And these two experiences of the relative and the absolute are not separate. And that is ultimately what we mean by this experience of non-duality. So once you realize that, simply relax into it, enjoy it, live from and with that recognition.